Perfect.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Hello, Kylie.
Hi.
Let's check volume levels real quick. Kylie, you want to tell them who your favorite player of all time is?
Of all time, I would be silly not to say Patrick Mahomes for what he's done with Kansas City and for Kansas City, but I have a really soft spot for Derek Thomas. So there we go.
I got a Derek Thomas jersey for Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
And I may or may not, like at the time I had like a couple beers. And I may or may not, I'm just going to blame the beer, but I got choked up because, yeah, he's my favorite player of all time. And I had a Derek Thomas jersey when I was a kid, but I outgrew it, don't know where it went. And I told my wife one day, I was like, dude, I would love to get a Derek Thomas jersey again, just so I can have it. And they surprised me for Christmas. And I almost shed a thug tear.
Yeah,
thug tear. Basically.
That's so nice. Like, what a great gift, though. And they were paying attention. Like, they were listening to your wants there.
Exactly. It was awesome. Well, hey, if you guys are not in the know, this is Kylie Winfrey of Kingdom Cast. I think I have in the description, I have her Twitter linked. And then I have the podcast that she's actually a part of with, it used to be 3, but they added a film guy.
Yes, we just added D-Mac. He is awesome. He's really great with the X's and O's, film analyst. He's awesome. We're actually doing a really fun, all of Patrick Mahomes' best throws. We're doing like a little tournament for that. So if you go to the page, you'll see where you can vote for that. But he's been putting all that together. He's awesome. He's got a lot of knowledge. It's been great having him on the team.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that recently because you guys also had a former Chief on there.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We just had Bernard Pollard on there on Thursday, and that was crazy. I found myself often during the interview just being like, and like zoning out because I was so captivated by like the insight he had on the league and the insight he had, like just some of the things he was talking about with being on the Chiefs and then other teams around the league and his viewpoint on some of the rule changes. It was a really, really great conversation. He was awesome. It was great to have him. But yeah, I was like, oh, Kylie, you need to engage. And I was just so fangirling. It was fun.
That's really cool. We've had one Chiefs player on this channel. It was Nazi Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a really cool, like, surreal thing for me. Just to have a Chiefs player on the channel is like a big bucket list thing. Mm-hmm. And then, I was like, okay, Cole, stay focused. Like, you got to do an engaging interview. But I was trying to be like, I was trying not to overthink the fact that I was interviewing a Chiefs player. Mm-hmm. I just, people on this channel know, like, I'm just a lifelong Chiefs fan. I mean, and so this is crazy. It's the team I grew up watching, and it's been a wild ride. Yeah,
it's super wild. And you chat with the guys and you realize like they're just people like us, and like it's easy to fan out about one of them or admire them from afar when they're on the field. But then when you start to talk to them, and he was like, I just dropped my kids off at football. You're like, they're just real guys. They're just real people living their lives, and he was great to talk to. And Nazi Johnson, that's really awesome, and you're able to chat with him, and it's just really cool when they make some time for that. So,
yeah, there's a couple others I want to ask, but I'm like, I don't like to be the guy that asks, but I have to ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I ask who's someone you would love to get on here that's not obvious, like Patrick Mahomes or like Travis Kelce?
I'm gonna build up the courage, but I want to ask Jody Fortson. Yeah. He follows me on Twitter, and we've DM'd back and forth several times. And then we follow each other on Instagram, and he's responding to my stuff on Instagram. I think he's just that nice.
Yeah.
But like, part of me is like, oh man, I need to get the courage to ask him. I've only asked a couple people, and they haven't gotten back with me, which is fine. Because I asked, like, I've been asking receivers, and they're pretty hard. Like, I hit up KT. If you're talking nice about him, he doesn't always respond. If I would have, maybe I should have said something mean. No, I'm just playing. I hit up Sky. And the reason why I hit up Sky, because I was like, well, he's got his own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I plugged it. I was like, hey, man, you want to, I'd be honored basically to have you on. We could plug your YouTube channel. I've hit up Bobby Stroop.
How'd that go?
Well, he did respond, but I need to follow back up.
Yeah. That would be a great one to get from like
that would be
just that perspective.
One.
And what, I don't want to get too into the quarterback documentary, but
we're gonna.
Well, we can talk more about it later. But he's been with Patrick for so long, just to get that insight and understanding of how their relationship has flourished and how they've grown together. Like, that's really cool. That'd be cool. guest to have.
Yeah, we're gonna try. I mean, all I can do is shoot my shot. People like don't know what to do about YouTubers, because that's all I like. You know, Arrowhead Addict and all these guys, they have YouTube channels, but they also have everything else. You know, the bigger umbrella corporation that they're a part of, the website, the bigger social presences. I mean, my socials are slowly climbing. Yours is too. Yeah. Congrats on 12K. Hey, Kylie just hit 12K on Twitter. We need to get her to 12.1K. So her Twitter is in the description. Yo, Twitter is a crazy place, but
it is.
I really enjoy it for the most part. At least that's where I find news. But that's also where, like, that's how we connected, and we've connected, like, just with mainly the content creators for Chiefs Kingdom. Like, Twitter runs pretty small in my opinion, in that regard, for our circle of, like, Chiefs content creators. Not that, I mean, there's probably a couple dozen, but there's not that many.
No,
not that many.
But it is. Twitter's a wild ride, and it's I don't know how to say this. It's not for the weak. I feel like there's a lot of hate that can be thrown on Twitter, but there's also a lot of, like you said, like we met on Twitter, a lot of really great connections and friends that I've met on Twitter. So it's Chiefs Kingdom Twitter is a really great place. It's really fun. I love interacting with people some people that I like grew up with and I just reconnected with. They're like, oh my gosh, we went to middle school together. I'm like, oh my gosh. And you like reconnect. And I don't have Facebook. So for me, like that's where I get a lot of that connecting from. So it's really cool.
You don't have Facebook?
No, tragic story. Real quick, mine was I got hacked back in like 2015. My Facebook got hacked, and I had it for, I won't age myself, but I had it for a very long time, and lost all my pictures. And I spent like a month trying to get it back, and you'd be surprised at how difficult that is. And so once it was gone, and I just never went back. So Twitter is where I connect with a lot of old friends.
And IG.
Yeah.
I live vicariously through people, okay? So everybody here in chat pretty much knows, which shout out to everybody, 128 people in here.
Hey.
There were some donos, some memberships. Appreciate you guys. I won't shout them all out per se because I'm trying to dialogue and keep it going with Kylie, but I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I live vicariously through people because I never leave my house. So like I'll be like on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll be like, oh wow, this person's on vacation. Oh, Kylie's at the beach with her husband or family or somebody. Oh, and we've got other creators. They're going and doing this. I'm like, I need to get out more, but
Instagram, yeah.
I just live through y'all. Like, y'all go live, put your toes in the sand at the beach, and then take the photo. And I'm like, hey, I feel like I've been there.
Exactly.
Sort of, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, Instagram's really great at like giving FOMO. I feel like I'm on there. I'm like, oh, I want to be in Italy. Oh, I want to be in Spain. Like people are all over the places that aren't really achievable for me right away. But no, it is. It's good at doing that, like making me want to go everywhere. So,
and like NFL players are doing it like crazy right now because this is the last time. So like Mahomes and family have been everywhere.
I know.
They were just yesterday. What were they doing? They were like, it's not surfboard. They weren't surfing. Wakeboarding. There you go. Yeah, I saw Brittany doing it. I saw a photo of Mahomes. Then he's also at that. Is that the ACU All Century? There's a golf tournament going on with a bunch of celebs.
With Pat McAfee.
Yeah, everybody's there. Derek Carr, Steph Curry.
I think Josh Allen's there.
Yeah, Josh Allen's there. Oh, I just saw a crazy video. Did you see the video of Josh Allen sinking a bucket?
Yeah, right after Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Did you see that?
So Mahomes hits a huge three-pointer, guys. Boom. I could maybe share the screen, but maybe I'll pull it up while we're talking. But
yeah,
Mahomes drains like a three-pointer at this golf event. And then Josh Allen said, how many times did it take Mahomes? And they said, he did it first try. Josh Allen said, don't lie to me. And they both sunk it first try.
Yeah.
Where would I find that?
What?
Maybe I just search Mahomes.
Yeah, it probably pop up right away.
Whoa.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
All right. So I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. Let's see what happens. Okay. Hold on. We're going to get there. Google Chrome. Give me this. Okay. Close the DMs. Okay. So Mahomes sinks this. Can I zoom in more? Yeah, I need to zoom in more. Oh, Suspense. Let me zoom in.
Suspense. Does he make it?
All right, here we go. And then I can also zoom out on this, I think. Maybe.
I just want to say, like, I see him wakeboarding, and he's just like a natural. And then he goes to shoot buckets, and he's just like he's just good at everything.
I like how this is showing neither of us right now, which is hilarious. How do I find... Where's the freaking camera window? Camera effects. Here it is. Okay. There we go. I was like, we gone. Okay. So Mahomes sinks this. First try.
Amazing.
Freaking buckets, dude.
Yeah.
First try, he sinks this. Which I thought was fun.
There's another video of him doing like a hook shot, and he makes it.
Oh, here's him surfing.
And then
or
there's
wakeboarding.
this.
What is it? Wakeboarding?
Wakeboarding. I think it's called a couple different things.
I saw a video of Mahomes sinking a bucket, and then he beat somebody in the crowd. Not beat them. I need to finish my sentence. He outdueled somebody in the crowd at rock, paper, scissors.
So he's even good at that. So what you're saying?
Oh, here's the mini Mahomes. You seen this?
Yes. Look at this kid go.
I was trying to see if I could find the... Okay, here. There's that one. I think okay, this is the one. So he makes this. He sinks his basket. And then I think if you watch him, he goes over here and does he beats some guy in paper, rock, scissors right here. Watch this.
What?
He beat him. Scissor
Just
to
like
papers.
it's nothing. Just like it's nothing.
Now, where's Josh Allen? Because that was the funny one.
Which
He sunk that, too.
He did. I was really impressed.
Oh, here it is. Right after Mahomes, Josh Allen sinks it.
Which good on him for showing up right after Mahomes did. Amazing.
All right, enough of that.
They look like they're having a really good time out there too, which is good. One last weekend of fun. I guess they have fun when they play football, but before they get to training camp and all of that, because it's gonna take over here pretty soon.
You golf?
No, nobody needs to see that. I'm not good at golf. I might be able to do putt-putt, but again, no one needs to see that. I'm not good at golf. Do you golf?
No. I was just about to say, I was like, we could all double date and putt-putt, because that's all I got, dude.
Okay.
Danny could putt-putt too, so.
I feel like I'm already lost before even getting there.
Oh, I'm not good, but I could do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we could try.
We might have to make that interesting. If we did that, it might have to.
Speaking of golf, did you watch the match? Did you watch that one?
I did watch the match. I watched bits and pieces of it. That, I will be honest, and no offense to golf fans, but that's about the only way I can watch golf is if Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are playing. So I just don't understand it really, and it's kind of slow for me. But I understand it's a really relaxing game, and that people enjoy that feature of it. So I get it.
Yeah, not that. Like, I appreciate golf. Like, there's no way I could do it, but it is not that fun to watch to me.
Right.
But dude, when you got Mahomes and Kelce going back and forth with Clay, Steph, but then they had Von Miller there, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And who was the other guy? It was a basketball guy that was there with them.
Oh, Draymond Green.
Yeah, Draymond. Yeah.
Who's?
And then they had what's his name commentating? Charles Barkley, I think. Chuck.
Oh man, I love Chuck. And I don't know, do you watch NBA? Are you big in the NBA?
No.
So I'm a big NBA fan.
Okay.
NBA and NFL are kind of where I live as far as like professional sports go. So Draymond was running his mouth like he normally does. Mm-hmm. And then just to see Chuck on the sidelines doing what he does was really great. It was good that they brought those extra people, because I don't think they had that last year. Like the additional, I don't think they had additional team captains, I think is what they were or something. So
I don't know.
I liked that extra little bit. It just added more commentary. Like I think last year it was Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, and I don't think there was anyone else. But it was fun. It was fun. They do a good job.
Yeah, it was great. They just keep winning. So this offseason's been nuts.
Did you see the Raiders fan try to smack talk Travis Kelce on the golf course? There's a clip of that.
Oh, the Raiders fan?
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
okay, I think it happened at the match, but then did you see the one from like yesterday?
I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. There was one, Raiders fans what were they doing? They were just messing with Kelce. And he said, "This is the only place Raiders fans have any place to heckle me is on a golf course because it's certainly not on a football field.
I
thought that was hilarious.
Zing.
They just have fun with it, man.
They do. They enjoy it. I mean, I feel like, well, this last week, especially between the ESPYs, the quarterback premiere, and now this golf tournament, like they're just nonstop. And I love that that he continues to bring his mom. And I felt like when
Donna's everywhere.
She's everywhere.
That's
she's
fun.
really having her best year. And
living my best life.
I feel like at one point I'm like, do you think she's over it yet? Do you think she's enjoying all of it? Do you think she's tired? Do you think she looks like she's having a good time?
That's what I think, but I don't know. She's like a celeb to me.
She's a full celebrity.
I'm like, dude, I'd love to have her on the channel, to be honest. Like,
let's do that. Let's get Donna Kelsey on the show.
It'd be so fire.
It would be awesome.
Hey, some people are in here asking about D-Hop, our favorite off-season question. But I did want to talk to you about a couple things with the Chiefs. We have training camp in 8 days. The roster's pretty much set. I mean, the 90. And then you could pretty much guess 80% of the roster.
Yeah.
But there's two things that people have been talking about. A Chris Jones extension, which since Quinnen Williams got his deal done, the defensive tackle of the Jets, I think it's the Jets, pretty sure. He's the second highest paid defensive tackle, $24 million per year average. Aaron Donald is $31.6 million average. Do we think Chris Jones is closer to 24? Or closer to Aaron Donald's 31? You have any guess? That's one question, but then part two is just, and if you don't know the numbers, it's fine because I'm not a contract expert, but part two would be, when is Chris Jones signing?
Okay. Well, I would say I think for him it's more about guaranteed money. I think Quinnen Williams got 66 guaranteed, so I think if you get Chris Jones at 7, and I'm not a contract expert at all, but I think if you get him at 70 million guaranteed, possibly 100, 104, 5 million overall, then what is that? Do the math, 26, 27 million a year? Okay. Maybe? Break it down.
I suck at math.
I'm not, this is not my strong suit. I think we see him at least getting 70 million guaranteed and 100 million over 4 years. Yeah. I think it needs to happen. I really was hopeful it was going to happen yesterday, guys. I'm not going to lie. I really thought.
I had everything ready. I have the thumbnail ready. I have B-roll ready. I have the script pretty much ready. I was, just in case, I was ready. I'll just put it that way.
I started thinking, because I'm like, okay, well, now it could be today. And I was like, what if it happened like right now while we're on the air doing this? That would be amazing. But I think today, tomorrow, Monday, like, look alive, people. I think we're officially on Chris Jones extension watch. I know we've been saying that for a couple months.
It's happening.
It's happening. I need it. And what was it in the ESPYs? He thanked Brett Veach. Like, that was like a tall tale sign.
Veach and Reed?
Yeah, like the very first thing. He was like, I want to thank Brett Veach, and like kind of like notion like Brett Veach. So I think there might be a little like they know something's coming.
It has to.
Well, and then the D-Hop commenting and like there's just too much smoke. There's too much smoke for it not to be real.
There is like a small chance, I guess, that Chris Jones and the Chiefs don't work something out, and he plays this year, and then he gets tagged next. I am very hopeful that doesn't happen. I'm like a 8 out of 10 confident level that Chris Jones is going to get extended. And if that happens, his cap hit goes from roughly 28 million to, I don't know, 15, 18 million, depending on how they structure it. Could free up enough cap space to make another move. And so, of course, people are saying, well, that next move could be DeAndre Hopkins. What are your thoughts on D-Hop right now at this point in time, especially when you have DeAndre Hopkins commenting on Instagram on Chris Jones's SB photo with his hands up like, let's go. Chris Jones responds, fingers crossed, handshake emoji. I didn't read that. I didn't read too much into that other than Chris Jones would love to have D-Hop on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I didn't see that as like Chris Jones has inside info and he's like, being cryptic and letting people know. Do you think it was more?
No. Okay.
Give me your thoughts.
I really didn't think it was more, but the more I scroll Twitter, the more I'm like, okay, maybe there's more to it. And I'm really hopeful. So here, I have been on this DeAndre Hopkins roller coaster. I feel like I've been like, and when it first started, the rumor started like back in like April, right before the draft. I was like, I'm not really. I wasn't really buying it. Like, I would rather see what we happened through the draft, what we were going to develop Tony and Sky Moore. You know, I was really like MVS, we had some guys returning. So I wasn't super high on the idea. But as the offseason has progressed, I've been talked into it by a lot of people. And it's not a bad thing to be talked. Like, DeAndre Hopkins is amazing. He's a great contested ball guy. Like, and to pair him with Patrick Mahomes after he's been on the Cardinals with, you know, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of drama around them and it's not been a great situation. You're blocked? What did you do? You guys, Cole's blocked by D-Hop.
It's the funniest thing to me.
I don't know if you've announced that yet.
Yeah,
but
people know. It's like a running joke on the channel right now. If I go to D-Hop's profile, this is what I see. Still, I don't know. I just think it's funny.
It's hilarious.
I've never talked to him.
So he may not be coming on here
He's not. He don't like
to announce anything. No, I think it's hard because our wide receiver room, there's so much depth there right now. And there's a lot of talk about, I won't get into it, but Justin Ross, John Ross, like who could get that 6th spot. So then if you bring in D-Hop, you're really opening the door. Like, well, are we keeping 7 or now who gets removed? Like, what does that look like? Because for me, in my head, I'm thinking MVS, Tony, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, Richie James, and Justin Watson. If you're keeping 6, like that's who I see them keeping. You bring in D-Hop, then one of those guys gets removed. And I think, in my opinion, it would be Justin Watson. Just based off of, I mean, we went and
If one had to go?
If one had to go and they brought in D-Hop and they're keeping 6 only, then I think that's when I think Justin Watson is then the guy that gets removed because I don't see them getting rid of Rashee Rice.
Nope.
After trading up to draft him. And then Richie James, we're hearing a lot of really good things about him. He's a great guy on special teams. He had his best season with the Giants last year with Daniel Jones, who I don't really feel like I need to get into that, but...
Hey, Giants fans love Daniel Jones.
They are big on him. Well, good, because he just signed a contract, so they better commit.
Bro, they get mad when I troll on Daniel Jones. He's a good quarterback, a dual threat, but he's not Mahomes. That's my whole point.
No, and I think, it's a limiting offense with him. I don't think that they can do a lot. Yeah. It's a run-first offense over there, whereas here it's a pass-first offense. So I think Richie James is going to get a little bit more time to shine and a little more opportunity. So for me, like the guy that lifts right out is Justin Watson.
Okay.
If you bring in D-Hop. Now, if not, then I think Justin Watson's today. He's another guy who's good on special teams, and he's a guy that can kind of play at a couple of different positions there. And he's proven that he and Mahomes likes him. They have good connection. So that's where I'm at. That was a long-winded way of saying, if we get him, great. If we don't get him, I think we'll be fine. He's a luxury, in my opinion.
The wide receiver room is weird right now.
Yeah.
It's like... There's like a lot of what ifs / like unproven talent, but if those what ifs hit, like it's gonna be fire. What if Kadarius Toney stays healthy all season? Well, that's 1,200 yards from scrimmage. What if Patrick Mahomes and MVS don't misconnect on 5 deep balls or so like they did last year? I mean, MVS would add 1,000 yards and like several more touchdowns. What if Justin Ross does show up and show out? But it's it's unproven, meaning only Richie, you said it, but only Richie James and MVS have had over 500 yards in a season, and none of them have had over 700. So that's it. Now you have Travis Kelce, who is on 7 or 8 years in a row of 1,000.
I mean, crazy.
So when you think about the wide receiver room, we have to factor in Kelce a little bit, even though he's a tight end. We know that, but. Yeah, I'll be curious if D-Hop comes to Kansas City. I don't know what they're going to do. If you roll with 6 receivers, I'm more of the mindset potentially that if they find somebody they're comfortable with returning punts other than Richie James for whatever reason, like I think even though there's part of me that thinks he's fine, but he only has a dead cap if they cut him of like 500,000 or 600,000. Where Justin Watson just signed a 2-year deal, and his dead cap this year is like $1.2 million. So it's like double. Regardless, whoever's on the bottom, like even if Diop comes in and they only roll with 6, it's either Richie James or Justin Watson out. But some of it's just, how's special teams shaping up?
Right.
What input is Tobe going to have on players he wants? Like if Richie James, if he basically says Tobe, talking about Dave Tobe, special teams coordinator, and assistant head coach, by the way, which is why he has pull. But like, if he says, Richie James is my punt returner, I need him on this roster.
Yeah.
It makes things complicated. So, yeah, some people are in chat saying, I think they could roll with 7 receivers.
I could see that.
If they bring in D-Hop, they might roll with 7.
Yeah.
Because here's my thing about that, and feel free to weigh in, but like D-Hop doesn't really play special teams.
No.
I don't think MVS does. Sky and Rashee Rice would.
We don't want Sky
to
on
some
special
extent.
teams.
I think they would have to play the rookies on special teams because I don't know, like, who else? If you cut like Justin Ross, for example, they're lining him up as a gunner at OTAs, I think is what I saw. But like, he's not, in my opinion, not a big special teams guy. No. You know, you want to preserve his body. So I'm just like, if they roll a 7, like, you've got to have a couple guys on there doing some special team stuff in theory. I think Deneric Prince, I know I'm skipping the running back room, but he could probably be the kick returner.
Yeah.
The question for me is who's returning punts. You don't want Kadarius Toney out there returning punts.
No,
not really.
No.
So that's the biggest question for me, like with the wide receiver room, and do they go 6 or 7? I know they have no fullback.
Right.
You know, Deneric Prince he's like a big-bodied running back. He could do it. They've also talked about Blake Bell, Noah Gray, doing some H-back stuff. But
yeah,
I'm intrigued about. I'm just like, once they sign or extend Chris Jones, I'm intrigued what happens next. You know, some people are in chat. I'm seeing D-Hop stuff, but they're like, if D-Hop wanted to sign elsewhere, he would have already. He's waiting to see if something can be worked out with the Chiefs.
Okay, how much money do you think he wants? I know he says, I want to get paid, but I also want to be with a Super Bowl contending team. But how much money do you think he's truly, like, what's his bottom? Like, he's like, no more, I'm not going less than that.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think in the negotiation room, I would think his representation brings up whatever the Titans and Patriots have offered him. Yeah. And I have no idea what that is, but it could be a bit. I don't know if he's going to get, like, Odell got 1 year 15 worth up to 18 with the Ravens, but that was way earlier in the offseason. I don't even know if he's going to get that much. Yeah, I could see him signing D-Hop for a couple years where that it's incentive laden though. Like, you got to have this many yards, some not likely to be earned incentives built in there, but I think that's going to be just the real question. D-Hop will see what's offered. It's probably not going to be as much as the Titans or the Patriots. This is just my thoughts. And he's just going to weigh that out. He's going to be like, do I want a little bit more over here and go play for one of these guys? Or do I want to take a little bit less and go try to chase a ring? I would think it's that. And then also look at the Chiefs wide receiver room. There's really no true wide receiver one at the moment. I mean, Kadarius Toney, yes, in theory, possibly if he stays healthy. But that's the thing. Diop would know he could come into Kansas City. He'd be wide receiver 1 outside of Kelsey. I mean, I know he's a tight end. I get it. But he's been Mahomes' go-to for a long time. Even with Hill. It was Hill and Kelsey, like, right there. Yeah. He's got to see that, and that's got to be intriguing. Like, seeing the wide receiver room and being like, yo, I could really, like, make a difference here.
For sure. I think what you're saying is too about maybe possibly keeping 7 receivers. I think that's an option. I think with Travis Kelce, I love Travis Kelce. He's amazing. Like, we're not worthy kind of stuff. But his snap counts get a little less each year. So we got to continue to protect him as he gets older. So we need someone, to your point, that's going to take some of that away and take some of that pressure off him. D-Hop would be that guy. So, I mean, yeah, I just need to know. There's been so much, like, speculation over the last, like, 4 months, really. But I'm ready for them. Brett Veach, if you're listening, can you please announce today? Thank you.
Hey, we got a guy with a burner account in here that goes by Brett Veach. He doesn't pop in all the time, but he'll just randomly come in and ask, like, questions about the team, like, should I do this or that? So Brett Veach, burner, Brett Veach, come on now. Somebody commented and said Kadarius is crippled. I don't know about that. But,
does it concern you? Does his health concern you?
Little.
Talk? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yes, a little bit. It has to. It has to be a concern until, in my opinion, he shows us that it's not a concern. I mean, but yeah, that's another thing, and we'll move on from D-Hop because I have a couple more questions. But, like, D-Hop is also, and even right now at 31, I still think he's a Juju Smith-Schuster, but better. Yeah. Like, in the role that he would fill in Kansas City, great offset to Travis Kelce. He would be incredible. I mean, D-Hop has probably the best hands in the league. If not, he's top 3, top 5. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and I think too, like he's a great contested ball guy, and so is Rashee Rice. It would be really great for Rashee Rice to learn under him. So I think it would be like dual purpose if you consider it. Yeah, we're getting D-Hop, but also we could be getting more from Rashee Rice because of what he's learned from D-Hop. So I think there's a lot of different angles. I'm not going to be mad if the news comes up and we've extended Chris Jones and signed D-Hop. I mean, what a day. What a day.
Do you remember who Rashee Rice comped himself to when he had his introductory interview with the Chiefs after he got drafted?
Was it D-Hop?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He said he compares his play style to D-Hop, which I found intriguing. So, yeah. There's only been 5 rookies in Andy Reid's offense as a head coach with Eagles and Chiefs to ever have over 500 yards in their rookie year.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like 5. It's like 550 yards. I looked it up one time for a YouTube short, and there's been rookies. There's only been 5 rookies that have had over 550 yards their rookie year with the Eagles or the Chiefs. More of them were with the Eagles. It's been Tyreek Hill and McColl that have had over 500 their rookie year.
McColl
Hardman,
Interesting.
He balled out his rookie year. Sean with the 10. Welcome, Kylie. What do you feel is our weakest position as it stands? I think we are thin at Derek Thomas. So just kidding. Defensive tackle. Thanks for the 10, bro.
Okay, so I'll address both, actually. I agree defensive tackle is a little bit of a concern, especially when you consider Turk Wharton and what kind of how his knee will be, going into this season. There's a lot of questions about his health, but I think with Chris Jones, and I think we've got Danny Shelton still possibly on in there somewhere. So I think there's still depth pieces there, and then we've got a lot of guys that are defensive ends that can rotate in. So I mean, Charles Omenihu is someone who's like that. We've got Dana, who's someone who can rotate in. So I think there are options there. My bigger concern is left tackle, personally. I hate to say it. Donovan Smith is great, has been great, but last season we know was a struggle for him. He had a foot injury. He also, I think, was the 4th most in the league for penalties. He holds a lot. He likes to grab jerseys. And also something to consider with him, and not to be a downer, but he was playing with Tom Brady, someone who can get rid of the ball relatively quickly, whereas Mahomes likes to hold the ball a little bit more. So would we see him hold a little bit more, trying to protect Pat for a little bit longer? It's possible. And I just don't know. We don't really have a true left tackle outside of him. So the depth piece there concerns me. So I would say left tackle for me personally. I know we've got Wanya Morris. I know we've got Jawan Taylor, but they're more right tackles. So it would be a learning curve for them as well. That's probably where I'm at. What do you think?
I think it was, I'm a bit hazy now, but I think Wanye, he played a bit of left in college, and he even backed up, I think it was Anton Harrison, one of the left tackles who got drafted in round 1. So he has swing tackle ability, but I don't think the plan would be to have him on the left.
I think if something happens with Donovan Smith and he doesn't pan out the way that we think he is, or he ends up being hurt or whatever that is, I think the move would be to move Jawan Taylor over, and then you pull Wanya into the right tackle position. I don't want to go there. I hope that that's not what happens, because I would prefer to see Jawan Taylor on the right side, but I think there are options there, but I'm not super comfortable with them.
I'll give you some optimism about Donovan Smith and why. Okay, let me give you a couple things that could be good this year. 2021, definite down year, played with injury. Also, though, before that season, Ali Marpet, the starting left guard of the Bucs, who was next to Donovan Smith for 3 years, unexpectedly retired. He was like 28, 29 at the top of his game. He retired. So that season, which was last season, Donovan Smith not only battled injury, but there was a new left guard, and he was in rhythm, in sync with a very good left guard in Ali Marpet. So I am a bit optimistic that playing next to a solid, very solid left guard again could help Donovan, which we have Joe Tooney. That helps me. And if he could get back to 2021 form, he graded out better in like every category than Orlando Brown Jr. Not by much, but he like, if you look up their grades in PFF 2021, he had a better year than Orlando in like every aspect in 2021. Not 2022, it was bad. But if he could just get to even close to 2021, it's basically close to Orlando level over there on the left side, which is still a concern, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think, like in my opinion, I think the Chiefs were trying to get a left tackle in the draft. They tried to trade up in round 1 and they couldn't get up there. And so then this is why I think that the day after the draft they signed Donovan Smith.
Right.
So I don't think that was their plan. I don't think Donovan Smith was their plan. I also don't think, just my opinion, that the plan was to for sure move Jawan Taylor to the left. I think that they signed him, they paid him good money because people are like, well, he got borderline left tackle money. Yeah. I think they could do that if their thought in their head was, we'll draft a left tackle and have a new quote unquote franchise left tackle. Again, you can't risk it all in the draft because you don't know.
Right.
They must have had Donovan Smith or somebody like, hey, if we can't land a left tackle, we'll go get a vet as a placeholder. Because you agree, Donovan Smith's not. He's probably not here next year.
No, I don't. I don't see him coming back after this year. I could be wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things, but
hey, me too.
I will say that it's great that we have McKinnon back. As you know, like he helped chip block a lot last year. We know he's capable. So I think that's one thing that makes me feel a little bit better is that we brought him back. So I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, just of all the positions, that would be the one that I'm most concerned about.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we veered from DT to left tackle, but I do agree. If the Chiefs want to go and get another veteran edge or another veteran defensive tackle, I think the D-line's in a pretty good spot because like a Minihue can kick in and play next to Chris Jones, and the other, like they've kicked George Karlaftis in. Yeah. They've kicked Chris Jones out. Some of his crazy sacks in the AFC Championship game, or at least in the playoffs, at least 2 of them, he was lined up as edge.
Yeah.
And when he got to Burrow, at least once he was at edge, and then in another game where he got 2 sacks in the postseason, and I can't remember. Were they both against the Bengals? I don't remember. Maybe a sack and a half, and then somewhere else.
Crazy game against the Bengals.
Yeah, it was freaking glorious.
I will say, is Carlos Dunlap still available? I believe he is, because I wouldn't mind seeing them bring him back just as an extra body. We know he performed really well last year when he needed to, and he really stepped up. So I wouldn't be mad at that at all. So yeah, there's options.
Love it. I have there's somebody that gave a $5, but I think we could talk about this at the end because he said he's wanting to start an NFL channel and has like any advice on making content. So Michael, thanks for the $5. We'll do that at the end because I want to keep talking Chiefs. Who are you most excited to see at training camp? That's in 8 days. You know, for me, I won't even give names because I want to hear yours first. But like, I'm excited about like some of the fringe guys. Like, if you look at the 53-man roster and you're like, well, this guy could make it if he shows up and shows out, but I'm not sure yet. Like, those are some of the position groups. Like, I'm looking at fringe, but like, who are you excited to see? And so, training camp and preseason, like, just hoping to get eyes on. Like once they actually put on pads, because OTAs only tells you like some of it, right?
Correct. Yeah, I would say OTAs. I mean, it's more of like a wide receiver camp. It feels like.
Yeah, it's a pass catching camp for sure.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I mean, we get a lot of hype coming out of there, and I mean, with reason. I feel like there were a lot of really spectacular catches that came out of that. But once you put the pads on, once you've got people defending you, it's a little bit different. I am anxious because we just spoke so much about the wide receiver room and how there could go a couple different ways. I'm really excited to see what Rashee Rice can do and what Richie James can do, since those seem to be. We know what Justin Watson can do. We saw him last year. So for me, it's those 2 guys probably the most. I'm also interested, as we just talked about it, but the offensive line, just to see where they bring it, like who's in the 2s, maybe who's in the 1s. Is Wanya Morris going to be on the left side? Is he going to be on the right side? Those are kind of the things that I'll be looking at.
What about Justin Ross?
Oh, gee.
Hey, there's a lot of people in here.
I know.
Ross, look, Chris Wright said Ross, Justin, which is hilarious. He went with his official. Let me see. Can I bring that comment up? That's so funny. Justin Ross. So you're not excited to see Justin Ross?
No. I'm excited to see Justin Ross, but I need to see more from Justin Ross than what we've seen.
Okay.
So if you want, like he's definitely someone I'll be looking out for. But for me, those guys that we mentioned, like when you think about everybody else that's ahead of him, it's just going to be, he's going to have to do a lot, in my opinion, to get up there and get in a position where he could make the roster. That's where nothing to discredit him. We just have a lot of depth there. So it's gonna require him to do a lot of work to get there, in my opinion. That's where I'm at. I like Justin Ross. I want to be his biggest fan. If he makes the team, I'm gonna support him like I do every other Chiefs player. But I just need to see it. I need to see it.
I think his chances of making the roster are definitely better if they don't sign D-Hop.
For sure.
If they sign DeAndre Hopkins, man, that's going to be very interesting to watch. Mm-hmm. Like, we've already talked about that earlier, but I'm just like, what's that going to look like? I am excited to see Justin Ross at training camp and preseason because of all the hype. Like, I don't yet have him, and this is not popular on my channel. People are like, Cole, you're on drugs. I don't know what they say. They say all kinds of stuff, but I say right now, I don't have Justin Ross on the 53, but I have him as a fringe guy that could, if he shows up and just kind of wows at camp and training camp and then preseason. And then people say this in the comments all the time, there could be injuries that happen.
True.
Like a wide remember, and I hope this doesn't happen, Shundai, but like Tim Patrick from the Broncos, he tore his ACL at training camp.
True. Yeah.
Or it was before the season started. And I wish that on nobody, but I'm just like, an injury could happen, like even during the preseason. Remember Blake Bell was a tight end, but Blake Bell had a hip pointer and needed hip surgery in a preseason game. And that then shifted the entire dynamics to an extent, of the tight end room. I mean,
yeah,
because he went on IR. So is that the only way he makes the roster, is if someone gets injured, in your opinion? And I have a second part to that question. Okay, if they don't sign D-Hop, I think Justin Ross can make the roster. I think he can make it, but I think he's going to have to really ball out at camp. He's really going to have to ball out in preseason, to where the Chiefs are going to be like, hey, man, Justin Ross may not do as much on special teams as some of these other guys, but this dude, we cannot let him go. Like, if they cut him, he's getting signed or claimed off waivers, or I think you have to claim off waivers right from the jump here. He's not going to be back on the Chiefs. No. So then my second part is, who doesn't make the team for Justin Ross to make the team? Well, it would either, more than likely, if there's not an injury to one of the first five that are locks. The locks, Kadarius Toney, MVS, Rashee Rice, Sky Moore. Those are the four locks. Yeah. If you had D-Hop, that's five locks. But right now there's four, with like Richie James and Justin Watson are more than likely making this roster. In my opinion right now. For special teams alone, right? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, I mean. Yeah, okay. Richie James for sure. Like, I have Richie James as the team's punt returner right now. Okay. And then he's also the only other proven wide receiver in the room. He had 500 yards, 550 yards last year with Daniel Jones, outside of MVS, who's had at least a 500-yard season every year. Yeah, if it's not Richie James, like, Justin Ross would have to ball out so much that they look at Justin Watson and be like, we're going to eat $1.2 million and we're going to take a risk. You're going to have to take a risk a little bit on Justin Ross, meaning, like, we see the talent and we think it can get to, where we want it to be. Maybe it's not for the first half of the season. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a very intriguing conversation. Richie James is solid for sure, says Joe Edwards. Justin Ross not likely to see much playing time on the outside, most likely to get cut. Yeah, I'm just kind of giving the ways that he can make the roster, but you guys know, like, I don't have him on the 53 at this point in time, but we'll see. Okay, another question. Yep. I know, like, wide receivers, but we already have Toney, who we think is a little bit of a concern from a health standpoint. And in the DMs. Hey. A little bit of a loose cannon. But I feel like Justin Ross has those same concerns. Like, do we, I don't know. That's where I'm concerned about his health too. Like, that's part of the what if to me. Yeah. Like, Justin Ross, in my opinion, if he balls out at camp and in preseason and shows he can shake people in full pads, take hits, like, and remain durable. Like, that's my thing. Like, he would have to do that, wow, impress, show that he's got that durability. And then, the Chiefs would still probably even take that into consideration and be working him slowly into the offense. Again, it's just, he would have to wow them enough that they're like, we cannot cut this man or he's going bye-bye. For sure. And we believe in him enough that we want to keep him. Kind of like, who was like a healthy scratch all last year? Darian Kennard. Oh, yeah. But he was, I was just fresh on his rookie deal. But, like, Justin Ross is on a 3 or 4 year UDFA deal. Yeah. So he's he's on a rookie deal. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of intrigue there, but I'm not sure.
Are you going to training camp? Have you been to training camp? Do you
Zach Eisen? What up, dude? He said let Cole cook. Dude, Zach, you know Zach Eisen from
I do
Twitter?
know Zach. Zach's been on the show actually. He's been on Kingdom Cast.
Oh, let's
a couple
freaking
times.
go. I need to have Zach on
hey,
here.
Zach.
I need to talk to Zach about his favorite linebacker. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Nick Bull.
He gets over exaggerated hate about the Nick Bolton thing, I think.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's.
Let Cole cook. Sorry, what were you saying?
I just asked if you were going to training camp, if you've been to training camp, how you're, do you like pretty much just live in St. Joe? You get a second home there during the time, or what's that look like for you?
No, if I go, it'll be a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple bulging discs in my back, so like long days like that are pretty hard. Like, that's why I didn't even go to a game last year because of it. But I typically try to go to a game a year, and then I typically, if I can get out to training camp for a day this year, that's the goal. Mm-hmm. The other part of that is like if I'm at training camp, I'm not here making content on training camp.
Cuts into that time.
It's a little tough, but I do want to go. I'd love to go. To go and see people. Are you gonna go?
I'm gonna go one day. I don't know what day I'm going yet, but
y'all gonna go as like a crew, Kingdom cast?
I don't know that we can make it work with all of our schedules. Okay. Since I don't live in Kansas City, it's just difficult. So I have to kind of really be strategic about when I'm going. So last year we did do it that way, though. We all got to meet up there, and it was a lot of fun. Had a great time. That was actually my first year there, and I was kind of blown away by the whole experience. So definitely going back. Don't know what day, though.
Yeah, the goal is to go. There's plenty of dates to choose from, too. So we'll have to see. But it's freaking soon, man. It's so crazy.
I mean, it's going to be here before we know it, and then football season is just jammed-packed. I mean, after that, we were talking about how our schedules kind of get in what you can now, because once football comes, it takes over, and it's fun, and I enjoy that. I love that. But yeah, it's definitely its own. It's like its own thing, its own beast.
What's like a couple games you're most looking forward to this season? So for me, an intriguing one, I just like seeing the Chiefs play in Germany against the Dolphins will be like, that'll be an interesting one. I'm also going to be here at the desk at like 8 a.m. because the game's so freaking early. I'm about to be drinking Boulevard weed at 8 a.m. Be like, oh my God.
I agree. I'm really looking forward to that game. Obviously.
Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals. There's been a lot of back and forth, so always looking forward to another Bengals rematch. I'm looking forward to, we don't really know what the Jets are right now. We know there's a lot of speculation. We know a lot of people are predicting them to be number one out of the AFC East, but we don't really know what they are. I'm excited, though. That's a Monday night game. It's in New York, I think. And
it's a Monday night game?
I think so.
Nice.
I think it's a Monday night game.
You're probably right.
Or Sunday night, maybe. Either way, it's a primetime game. Yep. And it'll be finally get that Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes matchup that we've
never played.
No, never. There's always like someone has COVID or something else. I think Patrick Mahomes was hurt. Like, it's been this crazy. It's been elusive, I guess you could say.
Ruben said Jets, LOL. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. On paper, the Jets actually have a pretty freaking good roster. The question is, how fast can Aaron Rodgers get on the same page? He's been in the Packers offense forever.
Well, and he keeps canceling. What did he cancel? OTAs?
He did?
They canceled like the last week, which I get. I've heard it's not uncommon to do that, but as you're a new quarterback coming in with a whole new not a whole new receiving corps, since he brought half his team with him. But I mean, I feel like those are things that you want. You want that extra time. So we'll see. I don't have a lot of stock in the Jets personally, just because I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I think his best days are behind him. I could eat my own words later on. Who knows? But I think the Chiefs actually win that game, but I am looking forward to the matchup.
Yeah, there's an intrigue there of Aaron Rodgers against Mahomes. Like, that's fun to me.
Just in the season. Did you see?
What?
Jets, just in the season. Who wrote that? Craig Campbell.
Just in the season. That's it. Rodgers is a bum, said Loaded Hot. Rodgers just had recently back-to-back MVP years. Struggles in the postseason. He's won a Super Bowl, but like his playoff record is kind of wild.
Well, and I just don't I just don't see the effort from him that I see, and we see this on and off the field. Like during games, I don't feel like we see the effort from him that we're getting from other QBs. Yeah, he's 12-10 in the playoffs in his career. So yeah, there's some merit to that.
What's Mahomes? He's like lost like 3 games.
Mahomes is
11-3.
11-3.
Yeah, he lost Super Bowl against the Bucks, AFC Championship against the Patriots, and then AFC Championship against the Bengals. That's his only 3 losses.
Man. Well, I think the Chiefs are going to win that game in my little preseason predictions. I've actually talked to a lot of people, though, that think the Jets are going to win that game.
Okay.
I'm not one of them, but we'll see.
I mean, here's the thing. Any of these, like if the Jets are actually firing, any of these games that appear on paper to be bangers, like it could go either way. The Bengals game, the Bills game, the Eagles, like the Super Bowl rematch will be a fun one. I mean, the Dolphins, if Tua's healthy and they're clicking, I mean, they've got in Jalen Ramsey, they've got, they got Waddle, they got Hill.
They got Vic Fangio now, the Dolphins do. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if their defense can improve from last season. I think just by what you said, they should be better.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like, those will be the games that separate the men from the boys there, because the men will close the game out.
Yeah.
Like, and that's typically normally Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, all these one-score games last year, a lot of them, like 2 one-score games against the Chargers. There were one-score games against the Broncos. That 1-point game against the Raiders. But here's like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid find a way to close it out, even when it's stressful as hell. And I'm like, can we just win a game convincingly?
They love it. They love to put us through that stress. It's fine because I think it works out later in the season, but it's not good for my blood pressure. I'll say that much. And I will say, too, the Bills game, I think the Bills are actually coming off of a bye week. So
yeah, I think
it will be interesting to see. We'll have had a pretty tough run, I believe, and then we play the Bills, and they're coming off a bye. So I'm not saying we're going to lose that game, but just something to consider if you predict the season or the schedule, something to consider.
Did you see that segment about the back half of the Chiefs' schedule?
No, I don't think so.
I don't have it up. Like, I don't know if I could even find it quickly, but it's something along the lines of the back half of the Chiefs' schedule. They have, out of basically almost every team in the NFL, the least amount of rest days.
Oh, yeah.
In between games compared to their opponents in the back half of the schedule. So, yeah, that's an example. You said the Bills are coming off a bye week, and maybe think about it. There's a lot of teams that are coming off of more rest, whether it's a mini bye, a bye, or the Chiefs playing Monday night, then Sunday night. So some of that's like, well, it's a 6-day rest instead of 7, like the other team, or 5-day instead of 6. Again, I won't be the guy over here making excuses, but it's just, that's never really happened before.
Right.
Since Warren Sharp, who, if you're familiar with that guy, he does all these like crazy analytics on schedules and teams and all that. He's like, this has never happened before since we started doing this like 20 years ago, as far as the negative net rest in the back half of a schedule for a team. And they're playing a bunch of tough teams in that back half too. So it's going to be fun.
That's what happens when you're on the top. You're at the top. Things like that happen, I guess. Tough schedules and short breaks. I will say I'm happy, they implemented that rule where you can be flexed into a Thursday night game. So I'm happy that one of our Thursday night games is the very first game of the season. And so we actually have 2, so we aren't able to get flexed, which is nice.
Is that true? Because I thought the opener didn't count.
Oh, is that true?
I think
Does
so.
someone know? I don't know.
I think the Chiefs can get flexed into 1.
So we could have 3 Thursday night games?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'm almost positive Thanksgiving doesn't count, and then the season opener doesn't count. And so the Chiefs could get flexed.
Oh, well,
I hope they don't, because like most of the Chiefs games already are like primetime games, like not all of them, but a lot. Without looking at the schedule, during the back half of the schedule, they've got bangers that they're playing. So hopefully they don't get flexed.
Yeah. I would.
Rest. We don't talk about rest? My bad, Ruben. Opener doesn't count. Yeah, FLDB.
Okay. Yeah, so good to know. Yeah, that is a bummer. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know.
Hey, you ready for something?
Yeah.
I got a game. I did a couple things. They're like, this one's going to be when I say it's this or that.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to give you 2 things and you pick one or the other.
Okay, I'm ready.
They're quick hitters.
Okay,
so we're going to do that, and then I have a segment. First word that comes to mind when I say this word or phrase.
Okay.
Most of it's football related or food related or Kansas City related.
All my favorite things.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
For starters, Kansas or Missouri?
Missouri.
Hey, You had people so mad at me.
I'm
last
so
stream,
sorry.
by the
I know.
way.
By the way, I want to apologize. Those were my thoughts and my thoughts only.
No, I jokingly said Missouri side's the best side, but I was just, it's not that serious. We're both from Missouri.
I was going to explain. Yeah, I'm not from Kansas, so I'm sorry. Missouri.
So I had somebody unsubscribe and say they wish they never donated me money.
Are you because of that comment? Yeah. Okay, well, both states are great.
Okay, well, let's move on. So, okay, Missouri. Okay, tacos or burritos?
Tacos.
Burrow or Hertz?
Hertz.
Okay, beer or wine?
Beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of beer?
So I guess I can't say beer. Was there an option for cider or seltzer? Because that would probably be the actual answer. I'm drinking a cork right now. I don't know if I should.
Yeah, shout out Boulevard.
Shout out Boulevard.
The sponsor that I don't have yet.
I'm drinking a cork right now. So
Come on,
that's
Okay.
my preferred. I'm not a wine drinker though. I'll just say that. I'm not a wine drinker.
I was expecting wine. I don't
Really?
know why I was like that.
I'm not that
take the
fancy.
Beer. Let's go. Offense or defense?
Offense.
Jack Stack or Joe's?
Joe's.
Gates or Q39?
Gates.
Oh, Night Owl or Early Bird?
Early bird.
Elvis Gerback or Trent Green?
Trent Green.
Okay, brisket or burnt ends?
Burn ends.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Boulevard or Bud Light?
Boulevard.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
Shout outs to the
Cheers.
non-sponsor
Again.
that I'm trying. Okay, Kadarius Tony or MVS?
Tony.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Love that. Carry out or dine in?
Carry out.
Yep. TV show or movie?
TV show.
Why?
Because my attention span is shit. Sorry, I shouldn't be cussing. My attention span is not great.
So you'd rather do like a 45-minute watch through than like 2 hour? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, like I can get into a movie every now and again, especially if there's a movie that I've been really itching to see. But I'm one of those people that will scroll Netflix or Hulu or whatever for hours, and then I'll just watch Family Guy. Okay. Like it'll just end up being the same thing I've seen 1,000 times. So yeah, TV shows.
I'm actually TV show as well, but it's because of character development. Like I feel like movies are so rushed, you don't really get to know the character, and then the movie's over.
Yeah, that's true. You start to get really into it, and you're like, I guess that's it.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Go to a game or watch from home with friends?
Watch from home with friends.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. Pretty introverted. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah, I know you got a dog. I knew you were gonna say that. Biggie Smalls or Tupac?
Tupac, but don't get mad. Don't get mad.
That was a hard one. I knew it.
It's Tupac.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
All right.
That was a fun game. Is that it?
That's it.
That's a fun game.
I made it up. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's done before, but I'm like,
you made up the
me
picks?
and Danny sat down earlier and we came up with these.
Great game.
Okay. First word that comes to mind when I say this word or phrase.
Okay.
It's not even first word that comes to mind. First thought that comes to mind.
Okay.
So it could be a person, a thing. You'll see. Okay.
Kansas City and all big letters.
I'm starting out light here.
Okay.
First word or thought that comes to mind when I say this word or phrase. Drugs.
Bad.
Okay. Ketchup.
The best. Heinz.
I thought you were gonna say Mahomes. I try to set you up there.
I'm a
That's
ketchup
fine.
fan.
Heinz. Okay.
Yeah.
Heinz. Likes to party.
True.
You do? True. Okay. A monster.
Scary.
Running back.
I don't. Pacheco. That was hard. I don't know why.
My first one, just when I said that, was Marcus Allen.
I didn't want to I didn't know what direction to go.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Overrated.
Touchdown.
I'm gonna get hurt for that one.
No, you're good. You're good.
Touchdown. Travis Kelce.
One leg.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
I was thinking Mahomes with his ankle.
Oh, that's a good one. That was a hard one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one leg. You could have said IHOP.
I could have said IHOP. That one was tough.
That was a tough one. This one's not as hard. 0 rings.
The Bengals.
Okay. Cheeseburger.
Ketchup. I load my cheeseburgers with ketchup. That's the first thing I think of when I'm grabbing a cheeseburger. I actually had Sonic, shout out to Cole, the other day, and I just load them with ketchup. So that's the first thing I'm thinking of.
I thought you were going to say Andy Reid when I said cheeseburger.
No. Well, that's 2 words.
Well, first phrase or thought.
Oh, that's right.
But no, cheeseburger. We had Culver's the other day. You had Culver's before?
I think we talked about this last time.
Good,
Culver's is so good.
So freaking
it's
good.
so good. They have the.
Oh my gosh. People think because I say Sonic's better than Whataburger that I'm like super high on Sonic. No, I just think Whataburger's mid, like Dak Prescott. But Culver's, so good.
Dak Prescott is mid.
Is this video for members only? No, dude, it's public. It's public.
Hey, Chad.
Tank 7.
Boulevard.
Scary.
Movies.
Super Bowl.
Chiefs.
Beyonce.
Queen.
I knew you were going to say that. Hip hop.
Favorite. Best.
Boom.
Preferred.
Hey, let's go. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that with my guests, like this or that, or phrase that comes to mind, because it's always interesting what people think. Because even I was like, oh, cheeseburger, she's going to say Andy Reid. Ketchup, she's going to say Mahomes. But now you went ketchup, favorite, cheeseburger, ketchup. You really like ketchup. Will you put it on your steak?
No, that's where I draw the line.
Thank you.
But I love ketchup. Actually, I'm one of those people who will, I have my cabinet just stocked with ketchup so that I never run out.
Oh, really?
And it's I have a preference. I'm a Heinz girl. Like, I don't like when restaurants are like, we make our own ketchup. Like, I don't need that. I just want a bottle of Heinz sent to the table. That's all I need. So, but I think with that game is it's really difficult because like you're already thinking of something and I'm kind of in the dark with it. But it was fun. That was a really great game. It was great.
I've never done that with a guest. So I was like, I'm going to have to continue that. Have you seen this before, by the way?
No, what is this? Oh, yeah.
Eagle Tears? It's one of 13,000.
Yeah, you went to I think I saw you do a video where you like went and picked it up.
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
It was so funny.
They're crying a lot of them right now.
Oh, dude, we're collecting them.
I mean, goodness gracious. You could fill 50 bottles with that.
When the Chiefs play the Eagles, I'm going to fill this back up with milk. Like, I'm going to clean the bottle out. I'm going to fill this back up with milk. Or maybe beer. Put beer in it. I just want to show that I'm drinking Eagle Tears. Like, that's it.
It's just all the Eagles. I feel like it's been 6-7 months and we're still talking about the field that both teams played on. It's just like, let's get over it. We move on. You guys would be focusing on the next season, or you can keep filling jars of tears. But
fill them up, baby.
We won. Bottom line.
Before we get off here, because I know we said we go an hour. We started about an hour ago, but what is like your 30-second? Have you finished quarterback? No, you binged it day one.
I did. I binged it, guys.
Bro,
guilty.
Kylie's on Twitter on July 12th. It came out on July 12th. Quarterback was such a good series. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then you said something else, but I was like, I couldn't get past your first sentence. I was like, so I replied, "Are you saying you finished quarterback? It just came out." You were like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Guilty.
So first off, I should say that I knew I was going to be here with Cole, and I wanted to make sure that I'm like an over-preparer. So I wanted to make sure that if we did talk about the series that I could speak to it. But also, I've been itching for this to come out since they announced it was coming out. So counting down the days, I'm so starved for football that I was like, as soon as I put it on and watched the first episode, I kind of knew I was in trouble. Like I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this whole thing. So I want to say that I did work while doing it. So I got things accomplished. It wasn't like I was just on the couch watching it all day. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I wish that's what it was. I was working at the same time. So, but it was great. I recommend it. I'm going to watch it again because I watched it without my husband and he wants to watch it, but you know how that is. Like watching it with someone else, it's really difficult. So I just binged it. We're going to go back, watch it again. It's a great show. Can't recommend it enough.
I'm on episode 6, I think.
You're getting to the good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm not done, but I'm at the part where, again, some people are saying no spoilers. We know what happens. I won't go into detail, but I'm at the point where basically Mariota's done.
Yeah.
So like right there. And then we're getting into Mahomes just had his baby, basically. Well, Brittany Mahomes,
which is crazy.
Baby.
That whole, I mean, if you guys haven't watched it yet, just to see how they squeeze that. I don't want to say squeeze that in because it's the birth of your child,
Monday.
But for them to schedule it on a Monday, and like I think we had the Bengals that week after, so it was just, it's very, very impressive how they were able to do all of that. And something else I took away from the show.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd bring it up.
Kirk Cousins.
I'm
going to bring that up too. Don't worry.
Fine.
First of all, I want to defend two people. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I was not a fan going in. Leaving, he's just a really humble guy. It was really cool to see his life. The show's great for that. Like, I hope they do it again and bring 3 more quarterbacks in because I loved seeing that. That was really cool, and it made me a fan. And then Brittany Mahomes gets a lot of hate, and I just don't agree with it. I've never agreed with it. And then after that show, like the tweet that he's referring to, I was talking about Brittany Mahomes, and she just seems to be, she's just very down to earth, and she knows what Patrick needs and what moment is going on. So whether it be that he's hurt during a game or whether it be that they're just preparing for this season, or they're getting ready for the kids, or whatever it is that they're doing. She seems to be just a really great partner to him. She's competitive. She understands what it means to be competitive in a sport, being that she played soccer. So she's got that side of it. She understands that side of him, and they've known each other forever. So when people give her hate, I think I saw something earlier before I hopped on the show with you, and I was just like, I don't understand how you can say, like, cheering for your husband to me is not annoying. To me, that's what you want to see. Like, I commend Brittany Mahomes. I'm a big fan. I think she's amazing, and that's all I'm going to say on it.
Well, you tweeted something out encouraging about her from a takeaway standpoint, and she actually shared it.
She did, yeah.
I was like, oh, because I follow her on IG, and I follow you, and then you shared it, and I was like, I literally messaged you, and I was like, yo, she just shared your stuff. And then I saw it. Then the next story was her sharing her stuff because I saw you repost it or something. Anyway, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, here's the thing. Has she done some stuff maybe earlier on that was a bit over the top? And yeah, sure.
She's 23, 24.
Yeah, but it's just like I think people over scrutinize her because of the brother. I've coined him "he who shall not be named" on this channel, just because it's such a divisive thing right now with his pending legal status and all that. But like, I'm on episode 6, and I'm like, dude, she's been hella chill. I mean, just supportive wife, and I was like, I dig it, man. And I thought it was cool. I saw that, but then did you see their GQ couples interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was great too.
She's complimented Mahomes multiple times, just how good of a father he is, and Mahomes, like, all his stuff and interactions that I've seen with Brittany, he just, like, I can tell, like, that dude really cares about her, man. I mean, they're high school sweethearts, so I thought that was worth bringing up. Just, she gets a lot of, and there's still, I even see it in the comments, it's divisive depending on who you're asking about the person. But I thought seeing Mahomes and his family life off the field, and then his unedited scenes on the field, by the way, it was fine. Yeah. But I just was like, oh, that's cool. It's cool to see him being a family man. It was cool to see Brittany behind the scenes, because all we were getting from Brittany really earlier on was just a random TikTok or her going over the top celebrating, which I don't even care about that. I saw, to be honest.
Someone wrote, like, that was before she had kids. I do think she's done a lot of growing up since having Sterling. I mean, kids will make you grow up, and I think that's
she's more chill now.
She's more chill, but to your point, you can tell Mahomes just really, really loves her. He loves his family, and that's enough for me. I mean, like, as he's the QB and pretty much savior of Kansas City, if he's making her happy or she's making him happy, like, that's all I need to know. But outside of that, I really do think she's great. So I'm a big fan.
Love it. Yeah, if you guys get a chance, watch the documentary, man. It's so good. I will say this. Kirk Cousins, okay, we joke on this channel all the time how white I am, because I'm a pretty white dude. Like, I'm Irish. I don't see, like, look, this is my tan line, which is hilarious because it's barely a tan line. It goes from, like, it's got like a bluish gray tint to, like, actually white. But we joke on here how white I am, but I'll say this. Watching that documentary, bro, Kirk Cousins got me feeling like a cultured, in-the-know white man, because that dude is white. I mean, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. No, okay, maybe not that. But I thought his family was really, like, genuine. I got a really genuine vibes, but I'm like, bro, Kirk Cousins, dog. He had the shirt to his high school choir in his man cave. Hung up, dude. I was like, dog. And then the button-ups. Yeah. I like those button-ups.
It had me feeling kind of bad. I'll be honest. I've dogged.
It's called a hillbilly tan, said Rocky. This is a hillbilly tan?
He's always well, now you know.
All right. Yeehaw.
I've been very critical of Kirk Cousins because he's mid, like Dak Prescott, and I don't mean that to be mean. I just mean, like, it's easy to criticize and make top 10 lists for QBs, and then you watch this documentary and you're like, oh my gosh, they're just people.
Yeah.
Like, they are just humble people living their lives, and they've got kids, and it was really cool to see, like you said. They just seem really down to earth. She was like, we shop at Kohl's and Target, like, we're normal people, and they really are, and that was really great to see. I'm a fan of him now as well.
He is... I'm actually curious. So my editor, Troy, everybody knows him on here as Editor Troy. I hired him in April, but I met him in Kansas City. He lived here for a long time, but he's from Minnesota and lives there now. Oh, so he's a Vikings fan, but he loves the Chiefs. Like, he's a great respecter of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, every year of his career, has had a different offensive play caller for his entire career, even since being with Washington. This coming up season will be the first year Kirk Cousins doesn't have a different offensive play caller. So I will be curious to see how Kirk does this year. Now, to what you're saying, he has not done well in primetime games. And he's only won one playoff game, maybe two. No, they get bounced this year, didn't they? First round
by the Giants, which should be noted.
I would have put down $5,000 on the Giants winning that game. Yeah. I don't even really bet like that, but I was so confident that the Giants were going to win that game. My voice cracked even saying the Giants. I was so confident they were going to win that game. I was like, I would have put $5,000 on the Giants. But it was cool to see like the behind the scenes, the humanity of the players, and that's why when I first started this channel, bro, I would go off on everybody, even players, like pretty hard. And I still do that sometimes, but the further I get into this, the more I'm like, I see the humanity of the players. Like just because I'm always here, I'm always looking at stuff, researching, and consuming tons of content for the channel. But it's just like, man, these are just regular ass dudes. I mean, they're just humans. Now, are they paid a lot of money? Sure. But there's a lot of pressure with that, so it's crazy.
And I think, too, that's another thing is this documentary was so great about seeing how much work really, I think we all know it's a tough job. But to see the work that goes into just an average week is very insane, very eye-opening.
It's insane.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Chris Jack, thanks for the 5s. Legends. Well, we're going to get you out of here in just a second, but I wanted to get back to this real quick. If you had any advice from Michael, I thought this was an interesting question. He said he wants to start a Chiefs/NFL channel. He's 26, football junkie, married, girl dad. Hey, shout out to girl dad. Let's go. Any advice on overcoming the fear to start a channel?
I feel like you're a really great person to ask on this. I'll put my little 2 cents in is don't listen to any of the haters. They're going to be there. If you're confident in something, go for it, do that, and just make sure that you've got an argument to back up whatever it is you're putting out there. If you just throw stuff out that doesn't have an argument, or if you are taking someone else's thoughts and putting them out there, that's not going to get you very far. So that would be my advice, is just make sure you can back it up, that you have an argument, and that you're speaking your truth and not somebody else's.
Yeah, no, that's super good. That's why because I kind of like, what do? I do like a news roundup basically with all my stuff. I just make it clear if I'm reading quotes, and then I give my thoughts. So if you differentiate between, hey, this is what this person said, or this article says this, make sure to quote it and then share your truth off of that. But another thing too, I always tell people, just freaking start.
Yeah.
I wanted to start at the beginning of the 2021 season. I did not have the confidence to start until the morning of the Chiefs-Bills divisional game. That's literally 5 months. That was the end of the season.
Yeah.
I literally said, if the Chiefs lose tonight, which I was pulling for them to win, but I was like, if they lose tonight, the season's over, and I did not start a channel that I wanted to start at the beginning. So I basically said, Cole, I was like, you need to man up a little bit, and you need to just record a video, and then aim to get 1% better every single video. I also was like, my goal was to provide more value in a shorter amount of time than everybody else. And it's no shade. Like, there's a lot of podcasts. A lot of people love long form content, like about an hour. Like, this is an hour. This is basically a podcast. But there are some people who would rather get all the news that you can get in about 8-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm just going to set it up as like a short show with all the value in it. And so just be yourself and freaking get started. That's all you can do.
Do it.
So, heck yeah. Well, Kylie, I appreciate you coming on. This is, I think, the 3rd time we've had you on the channel, 2nd time in studio.
I love being in studio. It's super fun. Yeah, this is great. And I just can't thank you enough for having me on. I love interacting with the chat. That's awesome. You guys are awesome in the chat. Cole, you're amazing. He continues to push out great content. I love the shorts. You were just talking about that. But to your point, like, a lot of people get everything really quickly now. So the shorts are really great. So keep doing you. You're doing awesome. Yeah. It's time, guys. The football season is here. It's here. And hopefully we see some really good Chris Jones news later today, and then you can report all about it.
I have a question for you.
What?
Who's some of the jerseys you got? What's some jerseys you got?
I have a Priest Holmes jersey. I have a Derek Thomas jersey, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, L'Jarius Sneed. I'm missing somebody.
What about Jerick McKinnon?
I don't have a McKinnon. I would really love... he's on my list.
Sky Moore?
I don't have either of those.
Which would you rather?
A McKinnon, probably. I love McKinnon.
All right, I got you. I got you.
You guys, stop. This isn't real life right now.
Signed.
I am
McKinnon.
gonna die right now.
Signed McKinnon for
I
Kylie.
had to leave the screen, guys. Oh my gosh.
Got you.
Are you kidding? Thank you so. Is this real life?
It's real.
Are you serious?
I swear.
You guys, Cole. Can I take it out? It's signed.
Heck yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I'll say this. There's been a few people on this channel that have really, they've gotten a lot of gear.
You guys. Thank you so much. Sorry.
No, you're going to turn this mic and they can see it. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
This is amazing. This is so great. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
So we've had a few people, Sean, Greg, they've really sent a lot of Chiefs Bids merch over here, signed gear to give away and be a blessing. And like, here's the thing, guys. Kylie comes here. She doesn't like ask for anything. And I was like, we should just bless her with the jersey. So I had 2 picked out that I was like, I think she would either like a Sky or McKinnon. She said McKinnon bar none. Let's freaking go. Jarek McKinnon. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have to bring this back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This is
welcome.
amazing.
Yeah, the HBTC community are a bunch of legends. They've really blessed me and the channel, and it's fun to get like we started giving away some merch for the live streams and stuff. But I was like, dude, we got to give Kylie something. So I appreciate you coming on. Heck yeah.
You don't have to give me anything to be here. This is so much fun. You're such a great host.
Appreciate it.
I've had a great time here. I was not expecting this.
Let's go.
I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Hey, on that note, I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow night, actually, if you want signed merch, just so y'all know, tomorrow night, a signed Kadarius Toney jersey we're giving away. Tomorrow night, members only live stream. So you have to be a member, but you get a chance to win this. A member is $5. You can join. We're giving away 3 things. I'm going to give away a bag of coffee. I'm going to give away a jersey to one person from NFL Shop. So you can pick your player, your number, or your player and your size, basically, and I'll ship it to you. And then we're going to give away a signed Kadarius Toney jersey. So that's tomorrow night. Wait, is today Saturday? Yeah, tomorrow night, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central. I will schedule that like right after this so you guys know. And then somebody said, when's the members only Zoom call? Probably the next weekend. Yeah. Somebody said, can I join? Yeah, any member can join the stream and get a chance to win a jersey. And so I appreciate you guys. It's your generosity, like you guys going crazy with the memberships, the gear being sent here. Like we can be a blessing back to others, and it's one of my favorite things to do. You know, Tom Grossi's doing his own level of giving. Like I can't give away $500,000, but we can start giving back, you know, in ways that we are able to. So
guys, be there. I'm telling you.
Be there or be square.
Be there or be square. Exactly.
Where can people follow you? Where can they hear more of your content? Before we get out of here, Kylie.
Yep. So you can follow me. He said he linked my Twitter. There I am.
I'm going to see if I can pull it up.
Yeah. So at the Kylie Winfrey on Twitter, at the Kylie Winfrey on Instagram. And then we talked about earlier, I am part of Kingdom Cast. And that's myself, Country Boogie, Chuck, and now D-Mac. They're all awesome. Follow us there. We do nightly shows. Off season, we're doing Thursday night shows, but during the season, we'll do Monday nights and Thursday nights. So catch us there. We had Bernard Pollard on 2 nights ago. We always have guests. We're just fans who love the game and love our team, and it's a lot of fun. So follow us there. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Cole, so much. This has been amazing. This jersey, I'm on cloud 9. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Yeah. This has been fun. Thank you.
Hey, this is probably the most important question. Are you on Threads?
I am on Threads, guys. I joined. I caved last week when it was like, no one knows what, like Twitter was in shambles at the time. And then I'm on Threads. I'm not on there very often. I'm trying to be more active. It's a new thing. So, but yeah, find me on there. I'll try and follow you back. If you follow me on Twitter or whatever, and I don't follow you back, let me know. I always love connecting with other people. So just holler at me. Cool.
Kylie's one of the real ones. What's this shirt, by the way?
This is Homage.
Isn't Kingdom Cast sponsored by Homage?
We are. We're sponsored by Homage.
We're giving all the plugs. Oh, let me do this. Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Love that.
They got a lot of really good stuff. I had the Derek Thomas, the Brett V. Oh, I'm not on the mic.
You're good. I moved your mic.
Gosh.
My bad.
We're live, guys. We're live. We're sponsored by Homage. They've got a ton of great T-shirts. I have a Derek Thomas tee from them, which is really cool. They've got the MVP Pat shirts out. They've got a lot of stuff.
what about the Veach one you wear? Did you already say that?
The Veach one was actually Charlie Hustle.
Oh,
Also, that's okay though. We can talk about them too. They've got great shirts too. But yeah, Homage is awesome. Their shirts are super soft. I've washed this so many times, and it didn't like stretch or shrink or anything like that. So, good quality T-shirts.
Let's go. I knew you guys were sponsored by Homage. So I was like, you got to plug them too. Come on now.
I do. They're going to have a lot of really good stuff. They do like NBA, baseball. They do all sorts of stuff. But football obviously is about to ramp up. So get in there and get your football merch.
Let's go. Well, I don't know. We'll try to do this again, like a mid-season one or something.
Love it.
And talk about how the season's going so far. And we'll try to have you back. Because you live in Springfield, but you have family in Kansas City. Yeah?
I'm from Kansas City. Whole family still lives here, but I live south, so Springfield. But anytime I'm up here, it's great because I get to spend the rest of the day with my mom. Guys, I get to go see my mom, so it's gonna be super fun. It's a fun, jam-packed day. She's gonna be really jealous about my McKinnon jersey.
Let's go. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks, Kylie. It's always fun having you on. And guys, until next time, which is tomorrow night. Members only stream if you're available. Let's go. Let's freaking go.